We all need support during our hardest times, and today we have with us an extraordinary individual who understands this deeply. Jaitrali Janjaria, despite facing multiple sclerosis herself, is a compassionate psychotherapist specializing in autoimmune disorders and neurological conditions. As one of the first in India to focus exclusively on autoimmune therapy, she also provides relationship, personal, and youth counseling. Having personally faced depression, Jaitrali is committed to helping others with their mental health challenges. Her philosophy, Let's Walk the Talk, reflects her ability to making therapy accessible and supportive. She creates a safe, non judgmental space for clients to explore their thoughts and feelings. Using a personal, analytical, and mindful approach, Jaitrali addresses issues like anger management, anxiety, and depression. And her passion is to ensure that clients never feel alone in their struggles, walking alongside on their journey to better mental health and well being. So let's get into this conversation with Jaitrali and understand her journey and more about autoimmune disorders and multiple sclerosis. So, welcome Jaitrali to Wonder Woman Wednesday. It's a pleasure having you back. It's the third time that we are interacting. Once for your story, once for the Women's Day program that we had, the podcast that we had, and today. So it's such a pleasure to have you back.
Hi, Sneha. I'm so glad to be back here again. I seem to be encroaching on your space, literally, if not.
It's a pleasure, Jaitrali, because you have so much of information on the most needed discussions that people of today need. So I think without getting too much into the other things, let's start with the conversation right away. Yeah, the
Sure.
first question I have for you is about mental health. A lot has been spoken about it, lot has been discussed about it. But what actually is mental health and why is it so important?
Sneha, I'll put it very, very casually without making it jargonation, without making it very heavy for the audience to hear. We all go through some kind of turbulence. Our brain goes through a little bit of dysfunction at certain times of crisis, certain times of stress, and we do not give it much importance, thinking that, okay, this will pass away, this will pass away. Little that we realize that when these things keep on piling up and penting up over a period of time, it leads to a mental disorder, and that is the time when we need it goes to a clinical side where we need to be given medication, we need to be spoken to a psychotherapist or a psychiatrist. So to nip it at the bud, it therapy is just about talking to a third person who's looking at you from a bird's eye view, who's looking at the entire approach and navigating you with your resources to make you feel better. So instead
Okay.
of reaching the last stage, we take action right here, right now. And the therapist is nothing but a guide who will help you to find your own resource, which is within you, which we forget during the time of stress, anxiety. In these things, we forget how to tap to this resource. We only
Yeah.
navigate. You do you think this is the kind of problem? Are you getting rattled by the news today? Are you getting up? Are you having work pressure which is dealing with this? And then we come out with a solution cumulatively, and mostly the solution comes from the client himself or herself. Yeah, when we talk, slowly you realize that the client herself or himself has the solution.
Yeah.
So it is nothing derogatory, it is nothing severe. It is just talking to somebody else without who has no judgment, who's got no bias, and who will just give the inputs and help you out, come out of that situation.
Okay. And when is the need to talk to a therapist, Jaitrali? Like everyone goes through, like you mentioned rightly, in life we go through turbulences, we go through stress. But at what point should one think about talking to someone and, getting this help?
So again, there is a point like, unlike yesteryears, till the time it was absolutely bottled up and the person started showing severe symptoms of having some mental issue by having dysfunctional attitude by the way that person spoke. Unlike that, we know that we are stressful, and talking to our spouses or talking to our friends is only going to give us an advice. And advice is something that we do not want. We need to think, we need somebody to step into our shoes and who does not have a bias, as I said before.
Yeah.
So, whenever you feel you are disturbed, you take counseling. Again, there is a difference between counseling and therapy. Counseling is something that you can take SOS as and when you are feeling disturbed and you feel
Okay.
you need to speak to another person. But when you pent up these feelings, then it becomes a therapy.
Yeah.
Then it is an ongoing
Understood.
process. If you neglect that too, then it becomes a clinical depression, which then involves medication and stuff. So it's a very, very simple process. You take notice of it, go and talk, keep it SOS as and when required, do a talk therapy.
Yeah.
Let's walk talk. That's how I call my website. It's
Yeah.
nothing beyond.
Yeah. I think that's very well put and very easily understandable because everyone thinks, like what is the right time and things like that. I think you've explained it beautifully, Chaitrali. So, what is it that made you take this and what made you take to therapy? And the most important question, why autoimmune?
So, Sneha, you have written my journey, two innings of my journey from a digital professional to what I am
Yeah,
today.
true.
So, I have been a digital professional for almost close to 20 years in my life when digital was introduced in India. And in the meanwhile, I was diagnosed with MS. And that time, back in 2009, forget MS, autoimmune was also an unknown term in the Indian community. So at that
Okay.
time, I could say that ignorance was bliss because I did not know the severity of what I'm having, what disorder. Okay, fine. It took me 3 years to get diagnosed, first of all. But after getting diagnosed, I continued to work. And I continued to work and I worked for 7 years after I was diagnosed with two autoimmune disorder. I also have Crohn's disorder and multiple sclerosis. So slowly, I started deteriorating because the steroids, the only medication that can be administered initially when you are diagnosed is steroids. And steroids, this has got no cause and no cure, multiple sclerosis. So when you're
Okay.
given steroids, it holds on for some time. It arrests the disease for a while till there is a flare up again. So when there is a constant flare up, your body starts degenerating.
Yeah.
And there came a time when I could not work to the best of my capacity. Having said that, also there was a lack of understanding of the corporates who did not know what MS is. What are the invisible symptoms? I am looking perfectly fine to you. But today, when you're talking to me, it is one of my worst days that I've chosen for an interview. But that
Okay.
doesn't, and you will not get. I have a lot of anxiety which I'm going through. I have just had a panic attack. I had to take the nebulizer before speaking to you. So these things are not visible to the naked eye, or it can be understandable. So
Mm.
when I say I'm fatigued, you don't understand my fatigue. So it happened with my corporate also. They did not understand what is MS, what is autoimmune disorder, what is she talking about, this invisible symptoms that we can't see. Probably she is failing. And there came a point where I was feeling uncomfortable and I had to take a premature retirement. After that, I
Um,
had really gone into severe depression because having been working on my feet, wearing stilettos, as I say, from stilettos to wheelchair. So there were multiple thoughts in my mind, and I had really dipped at that point in time. When I opened this page called Autoimmune a Silent Killer on Facebook, and that is when I have around 1.5k global members in that group today. And that is when I figured out that people are wanting to talk. And when we are talking, that this happens to me too, we are validating each other by doing so. There was a time when even the corporate people fail to understand what I'm going through and what am I talking about, these invisible symptoms. And also, when I went to the doctors and the psychotherapists, they kept on telling me, no, it is a neurological disorder. Your brain is basically sending wrong signal to your body, and there is nothing wrong with you. they used to send me to the neurologist. The neurologist would be telling me that because you have got MS and because it is a lifestyle disorder, you are getting into depression. So go back to the psychiatrist. So I was at one point like a shuttlecock. So
Yeah.
this route that I had made, it got me to think that all the counselors that we have been to, I have literally gone to every counselor, every psychotherapist. Nobody understood what is autoimmune disorder, what is MS, and what are the invisible symptoms, and that we are not faking to dig deep inside. So
Yeah.
I took up counseling actually as a course. I said, forget about everybody. Let me figure out how can I help myself.
Yeah.
So that's how I picked up a course, not knowing that this is going to be my second inning, my second passion. And then I thought that there are enough of therapists outside. While I can definitely take other therapies such as youth counseling, personal counseling, relationship counseling. Autoimmune was a huge void out there. So I
Yeah.
thought that at that time I was 10 years down suffering. So I said, after 10 years, I know enough about my body. I understand my invisible symptoms. Talking to the other patients or other people in the group who were suffering with all kinds of autoimmune disorder, if we could validate, we knew that none of us are really faking. The
Yeah.
only one thing that we fake is our smile. So that was when I thought, okay, this is where I need to be. I need to grow up in this field and I need to, in my way, try and spread the awareness as much as I can and help the people who need to be heard, listened, believed, and trusted. So,
Yeah.
see beyond multiple sclerosis, the invisible disorders. So, that was why I took up therapy and particularly autoimmune disorder.
That's so inspiring, Jaitrali. I mean, it's not easy to do certain things when you are going through them yourself, right? And I think that's a brave step that you've taken. So, I mean, I actually have no words to say about the thing that you're doing. Uh, so, just one question I had is you said initially when you were diagnosed with that, the detection used to take, like people didn't know about it at all. So now, what is the scenario like? Are doctors able to diagnose MS easily, or is it still a problem?
It is both actually. So in my times, I would call it the yesteryears, the black and white movies. So at that time, autoimmune was didn't even scratch the surface,
Yeah,
and MS hardly people were aware of.
correct.
Also, the Indian mentality mindset is anything that happens, you are very scared of what the society is going to say, what are the people going to say. So even if you're suffering, like even today, the numbers do not disclose, the accurate numbers are not disclosed in India today. So when I was diagnosed at that time, initially in 2006, I used to have numbness and tingling sensation. And I also, as usual, I just thought that it was some kind of nerve compression. And luckily, my disease used to go into remission. It was
Okay.
only in 2009 when I collapsed. My lower limbs could no longer, it was completely numb as if somebody has put local anesthesia in my legs, face down, and my palms and my finger. And there were pins and needles when you go to Vajrasana or you're sitting in Padmasana, your feet go to sleep and there is a
Yeah.
pins and needles. That is exactly what we go through day in and day out, 24/7, 365 days. And the numbness, like some local anesthesia has been given. So I just collapsed. I got it from the seat and I just collapsed. So that is when we went again to the orthopedic surgeons first. So the orthopedic surgeon ran all the CT scans, the X-rays. There were multiple pills that were given to me. They could not diagnose anything. And it was actually by fluke. He told me that why don't we just take an MRI to rule it out that there is nothing wrong with her. And when I took the MRI, I found that there were lesions in my brain, my spine, my lower limb, all the places, and why these symptoms were happening. So again, in MS, depending on where the lesion is in your brain or on your spine, depending if it is in the lower spine, the motor activity gets affected. If it is in your brain, you have short-term memory loss, brain fog, XYZ thing. You become incoherent. You cannot grasp. It is very difficult to comprehend things. So all these things were happening, and that is when it was diagnosed. And when I was diagnosed with Crohn's, I have to say this. The doctors told me because I have neurological disorder, because I have got MS, my mind is sending wrong signal, my brain is sending wrong signal. So I'm passing out mucus and blood in my stool, and it has got nothing to do with anything. It is nothing wrong with the body. It is only when we did the endoscopy did I find out that I have yet another autoimmune disorder. So that is why I would also urge the people who are watching this video, please understand your body because you know your body the best
Yeah.
and you can figure out things.
Well, I mean, again, you've made me speechless, Jaitrali, because uh, the description that you shared and the things that you've gone through, the courage you've taken to actually, counsel people and people going through this is really a brave step. Uh, I have so many questions because, we want people to be aware of these things. I think we should at least discuss about some things like what exactly is autoimmune, Jaitrali?
Uh, so I'll put it simply again to you. We know the term cancer. So we
Yeah,
say XYZ person had caused cancer. Then it goes, you probe deeper into it, you find out whether it is a breast cancer, whether it is a prostate cancer, whether it is a brain cancer, a throat cancer, a lung cancer. Similarly, autoimmune is the cancer. So autoimmune basically is the superhero in our body, which protects the immunity of our body, protects our body from the viruses and the bacteria from coming into and they attack them.
yeah,
In the condition of autoimmune, it malfunctions and it mistakenly the immunity of our body attacks our own organs.
okay,
So depending on which organ the immunity has attacked, the term of that autoimmune falls under that category. So in the case of MS, it attacks the brain and the spine. In the case of lupus, it attacks the kidney and the skin. In case of Crohn's, it attacks the small intestine. In case of symptomatic sclerosis, it attacks all the vital organs in your body. But it all falls under the one term autoimmune disorder.
okay. And
And
how do you actually detect or how do you understand that you may have this thing?
so this is why the diagnosis is a little difficult because there are a lot of undescribable symptoms, invisible symptoms, which is very, very difficult to put it out to a layman. So when we say fatigue, Tiki, you must be tired, take some rest, you will get onto it. You cannot explain another person what kind of fatigue we are going through. Perhaps today I have got a language to speak that if somebody has suffered from severe COVID, and the lethargy and the fatigue that they go through is the fatigue that the MS person is going through day in and day out. So when we say we are fatigued, I can't do it, that is the fatigue we are having and that is the fatigue we are dealing with. So
Yeah,
because of invisible symptoms, like if I say that I am not being able to walk or I'm not being able to breathe and suddenly I start slurring, they don't know what is happening. So you're saying, okay, fine, you need rest. You need to take, you have lack of sleep. You need to probably take some time out. So there is no literal this thing. So even for the doctors, as I said, because of the less awareness, and there is very less it is very difficult for the doctors to also diagnose because they have lack of awareness in autoimmune. To what extent can it like
understood.
there are certain numbers you must be aghast. There are in every 5 minutes globally, there is a patient who is detected with multiple sclerosis. Only multiple sclerosis. There is 2.8 million people who are suffering from multiple sclerosis today as of 2024 data.
Oh,
There is 30,000 children below the age of 18 who are suffering from autoimmune disorder. Sorry, from multiple sclerosis. I'm only sticking to multiple sclerosis as of now. There is 63% of the people who are women are suffering vis-a-vis 39% male percentage who are suffering from autoimmune disorder.
yeah, the numbers
And
are startling.
these are the global given number from WMS Day, the World MS Day, and the World MS Federation who have spoken these numbers. They are validated numbers. The Indian numbers are skewed, and I don't want to be speaking about them, though there are around 0.17 percentage of the people on the MS map, what can be captured. It is like around 0.17 children below 18 are facing MS, but they are all undisclosed. There is around 2 lakh people in India who are suffering, who have spoken that they are suffering and they are being diagnosed or they have disclosed.
Yeah.
So beyond that, we do not know the number. This is like scratching the surface. So many people who have not even come out with it. And today, as a therapist, I would speak vis-a-vis how I would be speaking few years before. I used to always think that people only shy away from talking about it. But the reason why people shy away because of the mistrust, because of non-belief from the doctors. Forget about your near and dear ones. If the doctors are not validating what you are going through, how will you expect your caretakers to understand that?
Yeah. I think, like you rightly mentioned, Jaitrali, awareness will be the key in this. And, people have to be aware not only for diagnosis, like you said, but to share their experiences and let other people know too, so that everyone is aware. Like the thing that you're doing with Walk the Talk with Jaitrali, I think those are the things that should be done more often. And there definitely is a need to spread a lot of awareness about this.
It is the need of the hour, Sneha. It is
Yeah.
really the need of the hour. Because
Yeah.
so many silent patients, so many silent people are going undiagnosed or they are just putting it under. Also, cost is a factor. Insurance is a factor. So all these things putting together, imagine how many people are suffering today. How many people cannot afford counseling, wherein counseling is a must for multiple sclerosis people. It is a life-changing disorder.
Yeah, very true. Jaitrali, again, one more question that I have is previously, like you said, many years ago, people didn't know about it. But now, at least I myself have heard a lot of people saying, I have autoimmune. So, is it only because people are now aware and it's getting diagnosed? Is that the reason? Or is there an increase in the number of people going through this?
All of that to put together. So one, definitely in my time, like I did not have a disease modifying drug. There was only one called interferon, which was equally vicious. Right now, there is much more awareness on autoimmune if you count it way back in 2009. Secondly, people are scared because autoimmune is not something that kills you, but it actually makes you die each day. Every day that you're living, you are living like that. So all these put together, also the awareness, also the newer generation coming into the picture and the digital social media, there is a lot of information that we are getting from the digital, which has increased the awareness for autoimmune and MS. Because back in 2009, 2006, there were social media or digital was very, very minuscule. And even the data and everything were not put out. So thanks to social media, in all these cases where we say it's a boon or it's a devil, I would say in these areas, it's really a boon because people are reading more about it. People are interacting more on social media groups. There are MS groups, there are human groups. So like that, things are cropping up. Also, now the doctors are also knowing that let us first do a MRI and figure out. Having said that, there are certain disorders. There is a kind of MS also, which is called clinically isolated syndrome, which is MS, but you cannot, there's no lesion or no plaques in your spine or in your brain. The only way to figure that out is to operate on your brain, take a portion of a tissue from your brain, and you come to find out there is a disorder and that is MS. That is why it is called clinically isolated syndrome. Again, the medication is same. Medication is nothing basically. Either you are put on steroid. When the steroids stop working on you, they put you on disease modifying drugs. So right now I am on no medication because steroids have stopped working on me. Disease modifying drug, they had to give me chemo. because I had two autoimmune disorders. To balance both, they had to give me chemotherapy, which did not work. So today I am living without any medication, just on my willpower and my grit to say, no, I'm not going to call it quits, I'm going to pull it. And there is no door to knock for me anymore. I don't have a doctor to go to anymore. So it is a slow process. So that awareness is building up. People are coming to know about that. And thanks to social media, thanks to the internet, who's giving and giving the information, that way it is a real blessing in disguise, you could say.
Yeah, I think this is why, like you mentioned, counseling and therapy is more important than maybe medication. Just one question, Jaitrali, is like, what is I think you've explained this briefly about the difference between counseling and therapy, but if you can throw a bit more light on it, and who should, I mean, with respect to autoimmune and multiple sclerosis, what should people go for?
People should be going for therapy and not counseling, because it is, people can manage with counseling also. Once they have gone through a therapeutic process for a long time, they understand where they stand, they understand that they can be cushioned, they understand there are people who understand you, the therapist understands you, and then you can take that person on a counseling basis, which is short term SOS. Whenever you require the counselor, you can go, but a long term therapy is definitely required in this, because
Yeah.
when I was studying for my course for being a therapist today, I also went through paralysis 2 years back in 2022, in the middle of when my studies were going on. So I battled that too. I was completely paralyzed, waist bottom. And that was a jolt I got to myself in spite of understanding psychology at that time. I did not understand why me. I mean, this was the last thing that I'm already battling so much. I've
Yeah.
already committed, and I was, it was like a rebel that I said, no, I'm not going to give it quits. I'm not going to be a depressed case in sitting at home doing nothing. If at all I can do this, let me give it my 100%. And then you give me paralysis. And then it came back again for a few months. I had to figure out my restrictions have only increased. Now I can't even go out. I cannot even go again. The digital segment came into help, because a
Yeah.
lot of counseling can be done in digital. I call my clients home. I have made a small clinic within my house where I sit and give the counseling. So also for those people who are listening and who are MS affected, MS is not the end of the world. MS does not define you. You might have MS, but MS may not have you. You can choose that. And if you have that fire in your belly, you can do something for yourself or for others. Either ways, it is going to be good.
Yeah. Thank you, Jaitrali, for sharing so much in detail. Because, like you said, I think it is the need of the hour. The more the people are aware, the more open they will be, and like people around them also need to understand. Right? It's not just the people going through it, but I think it is even more important for the people around these people to be supportive and to understand what they are going through. So I'm sure these kind of, yeah,
I just interrupt you. I'm sorry. Since you
no problem.
spoke about the people who are taking care of you, it is important for them also to take therapy.
Yeah,
One, they lack understanding too. They are a lay person. They cannot understand what the partner or the mother or whoever is going through in this. Second, because it is a incurable disorder and it is an ongoing process. It is very difficult to see your near and dear ones suffer day in and day out.
true.
So one, awareness, and second, to understand how to tackle and how to take out time for yourself and to rejuvenate yourself, come back fresh to take care of the ailing person. So
Yeah,
in both ways, again, therapy is very important.
yeah. I think sharing your journey and what autoimmune is, what multiple sclerosis, I think that has given me a lot of clarity, Jaitrali, because like I said, I've been hearing in past few months, people around me, like some friends and they have their spouse who's just been diagnosed with autoimmune and they're totally clueless, you know. So I think, thank you so much for sharing your journey and thank you for, you know, at least helping people through your counseling and therapy, which is very much needed. And definitely, I think, like you rightly mentioned, the person going through it and the family should be aware of this and start right away in the right direction by taking the proper counseling and therapy. So, thank you so much for sharing your journey. I know it's not been easy, and I know that, you know, coming, you know, being a still being in that and still being able to help people again is not easy. So, thank you so much. Thanks a lot
Thank you.
for coming here and sharing this. I mean, like I said, it's just that people have to watch this, have to understand this, and try and figure out how they can be a part of this too. In terms
We
of,
we can only share this
yeah,
awareness. And have, like, I am more than obliged, I would say, to each and all who ask me for an autoimmune MS vis-a-vis therapy, because it really is the need of the hour.
yeah,
And as we are growing, and even in the corporates, I would say that there is education that is required, awareness that needs to be built. We have paternity leaves today. We have maternity leaves today. We have most of the clients, corporates, agencies, we never meet the deadline on the deadline day. We do give a leeway to that. So why not people working, or why not people with MS? Give them that grace.
yeah.
They can really do wonders. And if I can do it in my condition, when my ailment has really aged, I think all of the people who are suffering with MS can do it. Give us a chance.
I definitely agree, Jaitrali. I think that again is another important thing. Along with the person, the family, I think the organizations also have to come forward and realize, you know, how important support is to these people. So, just one last thing, Jaitrali, if people want to reach out to you or talk to you about it, shall we leave the links of your Instagram handle and your Facebook group?
I will share with you my link of the website as well. So they can
Okay.
read about autoimmune disorder, they can read certain things about multiple sclerosis, they can read about why therapy is required for multiple sclerosis. There are blogs that I have written myself. So I will leave the link with you. I will share with you my visiting e-card also. It's a clickable e-card, so they can navigate in any place they want to. And they are most open to reach out to me if for any help required.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jaitrali. Thank you once again. Because as they say, health is one of the top priorities of every person. And like we know, it's not just physical health, it's mental health. And along with that, if we have support for these kind of things, I think we'll make the world a better place to live in for sure. And we need people like you to do that. So thank you so much.
You have nailed the word by saying we can make the world a better place.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you so
thank
much.
you. Thank you,
Thank you,
Jaitrali.
Seema, for having me over and to speak about this. Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you.